Hey gamers, welcome to A Real Authority. Today I'm talking about Yumi and Tuscany, the brand new rom-com that just dropped in a landscape which has seen kind of a drought of theatrically released rom-coms. Here we get one from producer Will Packer, since that was like blasted all over the marketing. Really do not know Will Packer that much, but I mean, let's get into it. Halle Bailey plays Anna, someone who's down on her luck but also aspires to be a talented chef, but because the circumstances didn't really go through with that dream. Then she meets Matteo, who's this very cool individual, and he has a villa. But also Tuscany seems like a really good place, so she decides to go from New York to Tuscany in order to, well, vibe. Then she tries out a wedding ring that Matteo had, and bada boom, misunderstandings lead to everyone thinking that she's going to marry Matteo. So now she has to try to find a way to, I don't know, get out of the situation while also accidentally catching feelings for the brother of Matteo. Just realized my Nintendo was in the frame, but I love rom-coms. I really do. Like, I'm not saying that they're masterpieces or anything. Like, I do feel that the rom-com genre has produced more good to mediocre movies than actual masterpieces, which is why I hesitate to say it's my favorite genre, but it's kind of that guilty pleasure genre, in which you can get even the littlest amount of charm from even the worst of them. Like, I do feel my love for the rom-com genre has led me to watching some truly, I don't know, divisive films. But more importantly, there haven't been that many theatrically released rom-coms. Like, Anyone But You released like 3 years ago and tried to like bring back the genre, but it's only now that we're actually seeing rom-com films release in theaters and get a major theatrical release. So yeah, indeed, I was willing to give it a shot, although the first trailer really didn't, I don't know, entice me to thinking it would be good. But you know, my rom-com fan of me kind of told me, give it a chance, it might actually be good. Now I should have stuck with my gut. Now that's not me saying it's a trash movie, like I feel that's too harsh, but for rom-coms, I really do feel this is the most basic approach to a rom-com. Doesn't make it bad necessarily, but I just didn't really feel the heart and soul really come into it, or the issues that plague this movie really weighed that charm down. But I might as well start with the positive. Halle Bailey as Anna. When the movie shows its heart, it's usually through characters like her. Like, I'm not saying she gives such a fantastic performance that ultimately redeems the experience, but I do feel her charisma and charm really do shine through on screen. And she really carries this movie even when the script doesn't really give her that much ingenious stuff to do. But I do feel she's charming. Add on to that two characters who I do think have a lot of charm. Regé-Jean Page's character, I do feel he gives a lot of charisma too, plus he's also had the opportunity to show his work in probably better movies. But you know, he was solid. Marco Calvani's Lorenzo, though, is the best character in the movie. Sure, he has some weird, cringy jokes, but I really do feel it adds to the charm of his character, and I kind of wanted to see more of him. He's kind of like put in the background while the main cliched plot is going, but I really do feel he is the best character in the movie, hands down. You know, I had a smile on my face whenever he showed up. Outside of him, there were a few moments that genuinely did work, and I do feel like it tries to fix itself during the ending, which sure, it is probably a forced last-minute course correction that may be inconsistent with how the rest of the movie's set up, but you know what, I had a smile on my face during it, sure. Directing's really good, alongside the cinematography, really selling the beauty of Tuscany. Score was solid, I laughed once, and again, it has its moments. But I really do feel, and I might be asking for too much because I usually mention how I'm okay with generic only if it's executed very well. This is the definition of a generic basic rom-com, but I do feel the charm is, I don't know, suppressed as a result. Like, the screenplay really does try to include every single cliche in the book, but I really do feel it leads to convolution that prevents you from having as much fun as you probably want to. Like, I laughed once, and I felt romantic tension between Bailey and Page's character, but I do feel those are moments that are outliers instead of, like, the entire rom-com. Now, this is not an isolated incident in the genre. Like, I'm not saying this breaks new ground in terms of, I don't know, generic mediocrity. I'm just saying the rom-com genre doesn't have a high bar to clear. It just really needs to execute it in a way that, I don't know, is fun. Like, I'm not asking for the next Anyone But You, but I would have appreciated the first rom-com released theatrically and a bit of time to, I don't know, try a little harder. The amount of cliches it includes really does hamper, I don't know, the charm that it's supposed to be having, and it really, I don't know, I guess I'm just a bit picky, but I really do wish it had that, like, simple, energetic feel, but one that also, I don't know, developed its characters better. Like, one of the reasons why Anyone But You was such a surprise was how great and well developed, or as developed as you would want to be, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney's character. Like, Anyone But You is great. Even if it does ultimately lean into cliches in the end, I was honestly about to give it a 10 if that didn't do that, but I would have appreciated an approach like Anyone But You. But this movie really just stays contained within this bubble and really does feel like this is a movie that has already happened. Netflix a year ago released La Dolce Via. It has a via and a similar structure, but I really did feel the heart of that movie much more than this. Also, can Hollywood cast Maya Rafiko in one of the big theatrically released movies? Because, yeah, I'm still waiting for her to break out because it's performances like that really work. But with that movie, while it's not great by any stretch of the word, I did feel that the romantic chemistry really did shine through, and it wasn't afraid to, I don't know, go in ridiculous directions. This movie isn't afraid to do so either, but it's really not as compelling as you would hope it would be. It really just feels super basic, and it really doesn't help the fact that its basic approach really does leave to the movie feeling boring. Then again, it's because the screenplay doesn't really develop itself well, not really the characters. Like, the performances are all good and solid, especially the three I mentioned, but I really do feel their characters could have and should have been stronger. Other than that, the way the movie sets itself up isn't really that compelling. Yes, it is boring, and maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe it's not for me. But I think it's not unreasonable to ask for a little bit more out of a rom-com. Like, if you're a fan of the genre and can overlook all the issues and just have a good time with baseline rom-com, this is definitely the movie for you. But as someone who has seen a crap ton of rom-coms and knows what this genre can do in terms of, like, enticing you, like, I'm not asking for a masterpiece or anything. I'm just asking for a charming, sweet movie, one that really doesn't feel weighed down by how convoluted it is. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling, word vomiting, trying to find reasons for why I didn't like it, so I'll just leave it here. I really didn't like it. And as a rom-com fan, I just feel I really should have. But then again, maybe it's just a me thing, so I'll just say for me, The Real Authority rejects 4 out of 10. There are moments here that really do make it worth it for a rom-com fan, so maybe you could wait until streaming, but I really do feel it just didn't leave that much for me. You can be different. I mean, I know a lot of people were basically saying that People with Me on Vacation is good, but I kind of had to turn it off halfway through. Speaking of which, leave in the comments below whether or not you think I should give it another chance. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a review, but if you think it's actually worth it for someone who claims to be high on the rom-com fan train, then yeah. But personally, just wait till streaming or just watch La Dolce Via on Netflix. You'll have a better time doing either of those things than supporting it theatrically. Plus, I don't know if you were going to see it anyway because Mario was there. The drama is also out. By the way, review on that tomorrow, hopefully. I don't know, I'm busy. But yeah, let me know if you felt the same way about this, and also what's your take on the rom-com genre in general. Yeah, I guess this is a state of the rom-com rant based on Yumi and Tuscany. I don't know, leave your comments below and like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Peace.